GMFB, the annual league meeting wraps up today in Orlando, Florida, and that's where owners and execs are deciding on a number of key issues that'll shape the future of the NFL. And that's where we also find Peter Schrager, a feisty Peter Schrager this morning, alongside our NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Guys, what is the latest in Florida?
Yeah, hey, Kay. I don't think I'm being feisty, but Kyle and I got into it a little bit about Beckham there at the end. But, man, okay. Ian, welcome aboard, obviously, here. We're not done with the owners' meetings, and we still have a full morning of agenda. So what is happening this morning? We see people trickling in. What are the topics today?
Well, first of all, they've done a lot of the work and a lot of the voting. We saw yesterday some of the rules proposals. You guys have been discussing it already on today's show. But there are going to be some updates as far as presenting in front of the General Committee, an update on where things stand with China for one.
China?
Another update, yep. Another update on health and safety for another. Going to give an update on where the league is as far as the planning for the 100th season, where things stand for big events, Super Bowls past and present, what it's going to be like for the draft, the latest update on kind of where things are going as far as the 2018 draft in Dallas. Just basically a state of the NFL kind of as they go step by step. There'll be some tax reform things on the agenda. Just kind of clearing the notebook here, giving the final updates and letting everyone leave at probably about 11 o'clock. And then the last item on the agenda is a press conference for Roger Goodell, just to give his thoughts on all the things that we heard this week. Probably not the Odell topic, which we've been talking about, but catch rule, lowering the head, and some of the other changes from early in the week.
I'd like to hear his thoughts on Odell. He's in New York. Anyway, so speaking of Odell, this thing is so fluid, right? So we showed up here, and you and I were talking about Ndamukong Suh like that was going to be the big news. It happens. We quickly move on to the next thing. It's so fluid that I leave the hotel lobby last night. I go to sleep. I wake up this morning. Things might have changed between then and then. So what is just kind of the latest on what we're hearing around the league, and maybe particularly from certain teams, on where Odell Beckham's situation with the Giants stands, and maybe around the league what his market might be?
Yeah, it is the big topic here. I mean, I was talking to some executives late last night, and that's all they want to know. Where do things stand? Is he really getting traded? That's what they want to know. And you kind of summed it up earlier. It would take an unlikely group of events to create a trade for Odell Beckham. It happens, but the worlds would really have to collide because rarely does a great, dynamic top 10 player actually get traded. But what the Giants are going to leave here with is an understanding of what is his market. Could we trade him if we wanted to? And they floated the balloon early in the week. They heard from teams. Several teams, I'm told, checked in with the Giants as far as, like, would you possibly really deal him? So they'll have an idea for what they could maybe get. And Beckham has received the message as well. He, no doubt, was back home, still training, of course, still trying to rehab, but listen to everyone else debate his future, and he'll probably have to make some decisions as well going forward, his behavior, how he's going to act, where he stands from the Giants. And you talk about possible market, it would have to be at least a first-round pick, likely first-round pick plus, to trade him. And even then, we don't know if the Giants would really do it.
Which is so interesting. So let's just spin it forward. Okay, so we get out of this week. We go next week. If the Giants don't trade Odell Beckham, what was accomplished? Well, they sent a message to Odell. Mm-hmm. They got to listen with no repercussions to what other offers, what his market would be. And they kind of sent a message around the league saying to all the players, and their own locker room, we're not taking anybody. Like everyone, except for Nate Solder, could be dealt. And I think there is a positive effect to that.
There is, and if you look around the league, I mean, Dave Gettleman obviously is not a young GM, but there are a lot of younger GMs. Brandon Beane just walked up to the set. He's one of them, guys who are open to trading anyone. And for the Giants, they traded for Ogletree, could potentially trade Odell. They send a message to the league like, look, we're willing to consider a lot of things, and that's okay. As long as you can deal with the publicity, which they're going to leave here, and I don't think I don't think there was a negative effect to the publicity.
Last thing, all the rules were passed last night. There was the catch rule. There was also the helmet thing. We're going to get to all of that today. I want you to start thinking about what else you want to talk about because I know you're coming on later on in the show.
I'll see you.
I love it. Okay, back to you in New York.
Nice little tease there. Great stuff there from Peter Schrager and Ian Rappaport. You know, a lot of talk about messages being sent. Nate, you're a former player, former wide receiver. What is Odell making of these messages, these back pages, everybody talking about his antics or his trade availability even?
Well, the thing, you got to put yourself in Odell Beckham's shoes. The message is what? They're trying to send a message saying that everybody can be traded. No one's untouchable. You're a football player. You understand the business. You already knew that. Going into each season, you know at any moment, whether it's injury, being traded, waived, being tossed to the side, that is a strong possibility. So them barking out loud saying, well, you know what, we're fielding offers. Okay, who's to say you weren't doing that 2 years ago, last year? Who's to say you won't do it next year? That's the name of the game. I think the message that should be sent is that what you're doing, being in L.A., kicking it, is something that we don't agree with. Now, me, as a player, I love everything Odell's doing, aside from being in situations he shouldn't be in. I think the Giants, they don't want him to be a rock star. They want him to be a football player, rock star second. What I'm trying to tell everybody, it's synonymous. He can't help it.
It doesn't help that he likes L.A., too.
I'm sure he does, and I'm sure L.A. would love him. I just think Odell at this point has got to be numb to back pages, got to be... The only difference is this is not you punched some drywall or went on a boat or you did a thing with it on the sideline. This is legitimately like you're not going to be a New York Giant anymore. How does that feel? So if this doesn't change him, doesn't affect him, then nothing will, because this is a different deal here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is like you may be moving. This may be your legacy and career. So if he doesn't care about this, then it may be as good as gone.
Great stuff all around here on Good Morning Football. Your opinions matter to us, so you guys can tweet us at #GMFB as we flip it over to Will Selva manning that news desk out in LA.
Hey.
Will, we missed
Hey,
you.
what's
Good
going on there?
morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. I feel like you guys don't call, you don't write, we haven't spoken in,
All those
a while.
coaches trying to steal your shine, Will. We love you.
Yeah, well, I love you guys too. I mean, we got to do this more often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, que guapo.
Mil gracias. Te amo. Te amo. Okay, all right. Now let's get to the news at hand with Johnny Manziel, the comeback tour returning to the site of so many glories for the former Heisman Trophy winner. Manziel seemingly going for the record of throwing in every pro day imaginable. Well, no word on whether he'll join the University of Texas San Antonio Pro Day today. Of course, we say this in jest, sort of. No, really, we just are kidding. Manziel threw at the University of San Diego's Pro Day last week. He served as wide receiver Christian Kirk's quarterback on Tuesday for Texas A&M's Pro Day. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, a considerable amount of teams spoke with Manziel at the workout. Spoke with our Taylor Bisciotti about his journey here.
I had a rise all the way to the top of the mountain, and then I fell really, really hard. And now I'm trying to climb out of the ashes and get back to relevancy and get back to playing ball, which is what I love to do. And it's not going to be easy. Look, I know that there's a lot of people that are doubting me and a lot of people that are probably against me. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to continue to try and do this until one day that I make it back. I'm 25 years old. I feel like I have, you know, time is on my side. But, you know, I'm not going to stop until I get a chance to run out on an NFL field again, whenever that may be.
From one quarterback to another, Colts QB Andrew Luck is doing something he hasn't done in quite some time. That would be sling the rock. With new head coach Frank Reich saying so himself, Luck is slowly working his way into playing shape here. General manager Chris Ballard saying Luck will be eased back into team workouts. And the Steelers came up with some pretty creative touchdown celebrations last season, as we've shown throughout the year here on the show. Head coach Mike Tomlin, apparently not a big fan of any kind of celebrating. Tomlin says he respects that it's entertainment for the fans on that level, but personally doesn't like it. Tomlin thinks it takes away from the game. Tomlin went on to say it's not a good look for young people. Young people aren't allowed to celebrate in that way during games. But, Coach, we love it. We absolutely love it. Nate does segments on this. We have to have this.
They were among the best celebrations in the year of the year with Juju Smith-Schuster and Le'Veon Bell. So Tomlin, thanks but no thanks. Great stuff, Will Selva. We'll talk to you again in like 20 minutes. Stick around this time. Stick around here on Good Morning Football, because this team has a young quarterback and a new head coach. We will ask Bears GM Ryan Pace what Chicago plans to do next with the Bears. Are they done?